Alright, so we're gonna do something a little different this time. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope you love it here. Hope you're having a good time here. I'm trying to be consistent here. As we can see, that is kicking my ass. But I'm trying my best. I'm really trying because I do want to be consistent on YouTube. I want to be consistent on a different platform that is not Instagram or the TikTok. Like, I want to show up in long form and really get creative with like showing up here. So let's all say a prayer. Thank you. She won't get it together. But I asked Instagram some questions a month ago, and I want to answer them here because now I can really just talk and just go on and on and on. But the girls had questions for me, and I'm just going to pick out a few of them because there were quite a few. So the first question that stuck out, it was, y'all want to know about the single girl era and the lover girl era. The girls know how it is out here. Heard you, girl. So the single girl era is a thing that I was doing and still will be doing the talks, even though I am not single anymore. Okay? What? But the single girl era for me came about when I moved into this place and I got to a place post breakup where I was like, okay, I'm comfortable dating. And I started dating and I started kind of learning myself and realizing that I can't require something that I wasn't giving myself. So I started being more dreamy and more intentional, and the solo dates were not just anything. Like, I would do my makeup, I would get dressed, like I would treat it as if there is a man waiting for me at that bar. And I would just really pour into myself in a super intentional way, and the era was magical. And then it wasn't magical sometimes, because sometimes when you bring in a man, the dating was like, what? What? Some of the dates were really bad, and some of them were really good. And some men, it was like, oh, you're great. Like, you're great on paper. You're who makes sense. But I wasn't feeling it. And I got to a point where it was like, I don't like people. Like, I wasn't liking men the way that I usually would be like, oh, butterflies and having a good time. And I started talking to my therapist more about dating, and she gave me tips, and she was kind of like, you know, them butterflies you're feeling, it's actually because you're anxious, girl. Do you want to be anxious? No. So debunking the butterflies thing for me, and and helping me like understand that it's fine to go with the flow, that based on my attachment style, I have an anxious attachment style, so based on that, I should date multiple men at the same time. I should have fun and just go with the flow and not give too much energy to one person and not let that like take over. And just date for fun, because I was with someone for such a long time and we have a child together, and that was like my only like dating history. So now I moved out when I was 29. So to go from like high school to 29 and on and off, mostly on with the same person, my dating history is a little bit murky. It's not great. So it was fun getting to know different people and dating them all. Like I was going on a date with them all. Tall, short, old, young, this, that. Like I'm dating you all because I want to figure out what I like and really figure out who is right for me. And I feel like all of that intel brought me to the person that I'm with now, and getting into the lover girl era and the era of like I've truly built up a foundation of dreaminess and flowers, and my requirements are very out there and very plain. You're entering into a space where you can either rise to the occasion or you got to get up out of here, because I'm already doing the things for myself, so I don't need you, but you're wanted here, but you're not needed here. So you're going to come up in here and you better bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? I even hate that bringing to the table thing, because it's like, girl, what? But you have to be able to like, to make sense in my space and to add something and to build and to teach me something and to really be the guy in here. And so yeah, so that is why the single girl era ended, because I met someone that checked off the boxes for me. And there was no butterflies. It was an instant comfortableness with him. It was an instant like, I like it here. Like you feel so good and so right that I'm not questioning anything. Because before I would date people and it would be like, oh, my ex would never do that, and it was this comparison that I would do, and then I would just shut down. But with him, there was no comparison. There was no thought in my head. It was just all in with him. And we took the dating thing slow. Met him in October at CultureCon, and we made it official in February. So we took some time to build and get to know each other, and it's been a good time, and I really love it here. And my advice to the girls in the single girl era is date them all, get to know them all. If dating doesn't feel right, stop dating, because that's what I did. I stopped dating and I met him. Like I wasn't out here looking for him. I went to CultureCon to network, honey, not to meet no man, okay? But it's just funny how that all worked and how it all just came together perfectly for me in the lover girl era. But yeah, that's my single girl era, lover girl era spiel. And then what else? Being a mom. How do I do content while juggling motherhood? I don't I don't juggle anything. My whole thing is I've always kind of like told myself that a ball is going to drop. It's no way that I'll be able to juggle motherhood, entrepreneurship, showing up as a good friend, showing up as a daughter, as a granddaughter, as a cousin, as a sister, all these things, and keeping a household clean and keeping the space great and doing home decor, like all those things. Who, how, what? And I don't have a staff. It's just me. That's crazy. So the juggling thing, I don't think it exists, but I think that I've reached a point, and I'm still growing in this point of knowing that a ball or two will drop, and that does not mean that I'm bad, like I'm a bad person, or that I'm not doing this life thing right. It just means that I'm human, and the balancing act that I'm trying to do is honestly crazy, because I am a single mom, so I am the main parent, doing most of the work, and I'm doing the job of two as one, and then I'm doing entrepreneurship, which could have a staff, but I'm doing it as one. Like I'm doing a lot of jobs that a group should possibly do. So it's hard to say that I'm juggling it all when I'm not. So for me, it's just knowing like a ball or two is going to drop. I have to give myself grace, and I have to understand that things that are for me won't miss me, and that things are going how they're supposed to be going. So yeah, that's just the only thing I can say about that. Is it's hard to juggle, but I feel like as mothers, we don't give ourselves enough grace, because we're meant to do the hard things, and we're meant to show up in 15 different spaces. We're meant to be tired. We're meant to be stressed. I feel like a lot of the things that we think we're meant to do, grace doesn't come in. Like we don't give, it's not enough grace, and that has always like bothered me, because I think we deserve the most grace, because we're raising human beings, and we're not going to do a perfect job. But I feel like there's also a beautiful thing when your child sees you as human, and your child doesn't see you as this like hamster that's just on the wheel and doing things, and then they have this weird expectation of motherhood or of women, that they don't see that, no, like, I'm doing what I can do for you, I'm doing what I have to do for you, but understand that as a human being, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, but I'm still showing up for you despite all the things. I think that's inspiring in itself. Yeah, but I just feel like making content, I make it when I can. I try to maximize my time that she's not around, and try to do the things and try to make a schedule. I don't always do a good job at doing that, but I try my best just to show up. And I'm working on giving myself grace. I'm really working on that, but that's the best I got for you, is just grace, and just maximizing the little time that you might have for yourself, just to make content, and to make content a part of your lifestyle. If the content's out of reach, then it's going to be hard to do. So my content is based around home decor and lover girl era, single girl era, content creation, full-time photographer, full-time creative, all the things. My content is always rooted in just those things. So it's easy for me because I'm living that life. So it's nothing that's out of reach for me to do. So when it's in your lifestyle, it's easy just to pick up your phone and make a clip or two, and now you have content, you have a reel, and it's a part of your life. So that's also something about too. If the content you're making is out of reach for you and it doesn't come natural to you, I would maybe stop and think of something that feels natural and feels really good for you to do. Because that way, the juggling of it all becomes a little easier. So yeah, that's my advice with that. I'm going to answer one more. Okay, let's just do this last one. A little deep. Healing after a breakup, believing in the possibility of love again. The thing for me is breakups are different for all of us. For me, it was a tough one just because I thought that that would be my husband. I thought that was like my forever person. And my brain, when it started to, I guess, realize that, you have to mourn that thing. And you have to give yourself grace. You have to figure that out for yourself. Because everybody's tips and tricks to how to get over a man, I can't really relate to them. Because I'm me. So for me, it just was taking a step back and realizing that's not my person. No matter how much I try to dress it up and make it real, that ain't it. Nope, it's not it. So let me just get that out of my head, because he's not my husband. He's not for me. He's for somebody else. Let me give him back to the world and release that human being. So it's a lot of like that, and having to have like the real talk with yourself of like, the person that broke your heart, do you really think that they were your person? No. So let's just start to get past that part. They weren't really meant to be here for a long time. They were a good time. And it's just something you have to like work out and journal. I journaled so much during my breakup, and just sat there going through pages and writing down like the best case scenario of who I'm really supposed to be with, and what they look like and what they feel like, and and how they'll make me feel, and how the things I'm requiring aren't too much, and I never was asking for too much, and I've always been enough, and I'm so deserving of a beautiful love story. And I think when you start to write that down, you start to constantly pour into those pages, the days get easier, the heartbreak, it heals. And you start to feel a lot better about yourself and how you're showing up and how you deserve someone that's going to show up for you in the most beautiful way possible. So I think you start to realize that loving again is super possible, and you are deserving of that love story that you are longing for, that you are writing down. There's nothing that's out of reach for you. You deserve all of the things. So I think when you start to like unpack that and go to therapy, and really sit with your thoughts and write down like, who was that person to me actually? Because they weren't actually my husband. They actually taught me these lessons right here that I will go into my next thing knowing. It actually prepared me and showed me the red flags and the green flags and all the things that I want, that I don't want, that I need, that I require. Maybe look at them as a lesson. And instead of a heartbreak, it's a lesson, a beautiful lesson that you had to learn. Thank you, sir. Thank you for teaching me that flowers are not hard to get. Thank you for teaching me that dates can be great and can be frequent and are possible. Thank you for teaching me my self-worth. Thank you for teaching me I deserve to hear that I am beautiful 2 times a day. Thank you for you know what I mean? Like just going through that and just really sitting with the fact that you are deserving of some incredible things. And yeah, I think that's the best way to get through heartbreak. Just pouring into yourself and sitting with yourself and really thinking deep about who that person actually was and not who you built them up to be. Not their potential person, but who is that man really? And once you unpack that, you might just be like, well, look here, that who is actually trash. But yeah, that's my advice for that. And that was my last question. If you guys like these, then write in the comments that you like this and you want to hear more questions answered, and you have questions, put them in the comments too. And yeah, and that was fun. So we did like single girl era talk, lover girl era talk. Next time we can dive into home. So if you have any home questions, or if you want to ask single girl era, lover girl era questions, have at it. But this was fun. Hope you guys love this silent home diary, this try to be consistent, because your girl is trying real bad, okay? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys love it here. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things the girls say to do. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.